Welcome back to our channel, the ultimate destination for coin collectors, history buffs, and anyone fascinated by the incredible stories hidden in plain sight within the change in your pocket. And today, we are about to embark on an extraordinary journey into the mysterious and intriguing world of one of the most sensational coins in American numismatic history. A coin that has set the collector community ablaze with excitement and fueled endless debates among experts, enthusiasts, and treasure hunters alike, the 1980 quarter dollar coin. A coin originally worth only 25 cents but now surrounded by a swirling legend and mind-blowing valuation of an astonishing $79 million due to the rare, bizarre, and highly unique errors and mistakes it carries, making it not only a marvel of minting anomalies but also a true treasure of historical and financial significance. So buckle up, because what you're about to discover may just inspire you to inspect your spare change with a whole new level of obsession and scrutiny, for within its silvery sheen lies a tale of unintended imperfections, rare production quirks, and the curious pathway by which a simple coin minted in the bustling Denver Mint transformed into a record-breaking, awe-inspiring, millionaire-maker piece of American numismatic lore that continues to dazzle and surprise collectors and historians worldwide. And as we unfold the story of this rare artifact, we must first understand the environment in which the 1980 quarter came to life, an era of transition and evolution in minting technology, where human oversight, mechanical limitations, and increasing coin production demands sometimes collided in just the right way to create accidents that became priceless gems. And this very 1980 quarter is one of those magnificent accidents, beginning with its obverse, where one of the most noticeable and talked about errors is the dramatic off-center strike, which has been reported on some specimens as being more than 15% misaligned, creating a stunning visual where part of Washington's portrait is shifted dramatically to one side while the date and mint mark remain awkwardly cramped or partially cut off, making such a coin instantly appealing to collectors who covet visual oddities. And even more exciting are the examples where the mint mark D itself is either doubled, partially struck, or even missing entirely due to grease-filled dies, leading to confusion and intrigue as experts try to determine the mint origin without clear identifiers. And then we shift focus to the reverse, where the bold eagle design has been discovered on certain 1980 quarters to exhibit doubling on the wing tips, the legs, and even in the word United, creating a classic double die reverse effect, an error type which is already a favorite among collectors but extremely rare on this specific year and mint mark combination. And this doubling isn't the only showstopper, because in some stunningly unique cases, there are reports of reverse designs being struck using slightly misaligned dies that caused ghosting or shadows behind the lettering, further enhancing the coin's rarity. But the anomalies do not end there. Perhaps one of the most peculiar features reported on certain 1980 quarters is the presence of a transitional planchet error, where instead of being struck on the standard copper-nickel clad planchet typical for the quarter, some coins have been identified as being struck on a copper-only or nickel-only planchet, likely due to planchet mix-ups at the mint, which were exceedingly rare but did occur during times of high output and transitional periods. And such planchet errors are known to command astronomical prices due to their rarity and difficulty in detecting them without precise weight measurement and metallurgical analysis. And what makes the 1980 version even more unique is the possibility that some of these errors may have been overlooked by mint officials. Due to the sheer volume of production during the early 1980s when billions of coins were being struck, and such oversights created the perfect breeding ground for these valuable mistakes to enter circulation unnoticed. Now let's delve deeper into the implications of die clashes and cuds, both of which have been observed on this coin. Die clashes occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving behind faint mirrored impressions on subsequent coins. And in the case of the 1980 quarter, collectors have reported seeing faint outlines of the eagle's wings on the obverse side or impressions of Washington's profile bleeding through to the reverse. And these clash die errors are considered rare and valuable, especially when they are clearly visible to the naked eye, while cuds, those raised blobs of metal typically found near the coin's rim, result from pieces of the die breaking off and leaving a void where metal flows freely during the strike. And certain 1980 quarters exhibit large and well-defined cuds that distort parts of the lettering or rim, making them not only errors but miniature sculptures that attract the fascination of error collectors everywhere. And another contributing factor to this coin's legendary value is the presence of repunched mint marks or RPMs, where the D mint mark appears to have been stamped more than once, slightly misaligned, causing a shadowed or doubled appearance. And while repunched mint marks were more common in earlier decades, finding a clean and well-defined RPM on a 1980 quarter is an extremely rare occurrence and significantly boosts the coin's market value. And let us not forget about the missing clad layer errors, in which the top or bottom layer of the coin's clad composition was absent during striking, resulting in coins that look coppery red or darker than usual. And these errors are highly sought after due to their immediate visual impact and relative scarcity. And when such a missing clad layer occurs in combination with other anomalies like doubling or off-center strikes, the coin becomes a once-in-a-lifetime find and a collector's dream. And speaking of dream coins, certain 1980 D quarters have shown up with proof-like surfaces despite being regular circulation strikes, indicating that they may have been among the first struck with new or polished dies, a factor that adds significant aesthetic and collectible appeal due to their brilliant shine and mirror-like fields. And the convergence of so many different error types on a single year and mint mark is what makes the 1980 D quarter so immensely valuable, because while individually these errors can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars, a specimen that combines several of these anomalies, such as a double die, off-center strike, missing clad layer, and a cud, becomes a unique coin the likes of which may never be seen again, hence the rumored private sale of a 1980 D quarter for a jaw-dropping $79 million, a transaction reportedly conducted between elite private collectors under a strict non-disclosure agreement, and though the details of this sale remain unverified due to the privacy of the parties involved, it has nonetheless fueled an explosion of interest in 1980 D quarters and inspired collectors everywhere to hunt through their spare change and old coin jars in hopes of discovering their own million-dollar mistake, and what truly elevates this coin into the upper echelon of legendary U.S. coins is its growing mythology, because every time another error or variation is discovered on a 1980 D quarter, it adds a new chapter to its already rich narrative, and experts now believe that multiple dies used during that year at the Denver Mint may have had systemic issues or misalignments, possibly due to rushed maintenance or inexperienced staff working high-volume shifts, making it more than just a rare error coin but rather a symbol of a pivotal moment in minting history where the human element still played a significant role in production, and these imperfections, normally considered flaws, are what transformed this coin into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. And while there are likely only a few known specimens in pristine condition combining these rare features, even coins with partial errors from the same year and mint mark are fetching astonishing premiums at auctions and private sales, creating a snowball effect where demand continues to surge and prices spiral upward with every passing year. And the story of the 1980 D quarter isn't just about metal and mint marks, it's about the thrill of discovery, the accidental brilliance of human error, and the magic that can happen when history, rarity, and beauty collide in the palm of your hand. And that's what keeps collectors scouring flea markets, estate sales, and circulation coin rolls, driven by the possibility that a life-changing treasure could be hiding in plain sight. And now, as the legend of the $79 million quarter continues to grow, fueled by collector enthusiasm and the undeniable allure of minting mistakes, it has become a beacon of hope for hobbyists, an icon of the numismatic world, and a compelling reminder that sometimes, imperfection is the greatest perfection of all. So make sure to take a moment and examine the next quarter you come across. You just might be holding the next priceless piece of American history, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most mysterious and valuable coins ever produced, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode where history, mystery, and hidden fortune await in the palm of your hand. Next. Today's episode is going to take you deep into the fascinating, mysterious, and unbelievably lucrative world of the 1995 P-quarter dollar coin, a seemingly average piece of U.S. currency minted in Philadelphia that has shocked collectors, stunned historians, and captured the imagination of treasure hunters everywhere due to a staggering error-based valuation that has recently reached as high as $43 million, a value so extraordinary it seems unimaginable until you dive into the wealth of numismatic quirks, anomalies, and minting mishaps that surround this specific coin. And by the end of this video, you'll understand how something created to be used for parking meters and vending machines became a priceless icon in the world of rare coins. So buckle in and open your mind to the potential that may be sitting inside your change jar, because the 1995 P-quarter dollar isn't just a quarter, it's a numismatic miracle loaded with a stunning variety of production errors, die imperfections, metal mistrikes, planchet problems, and alignment anomalies that collectively elevate it into a class of its own, starting with one of the most well-documented and discussed errors, the double die obverse, which involves a doubling of the date, the phrase, "In God We Trust," and the word "liberty," creating a bizarre and unmistakable visual effect where the letters and numerals appear shadowed or mirrored, a result of die misalignment during the hubbing process. And while Double die errors have occurred in many coin series. The 1995 P quarter is particularly prized because this specific doubling is exceptionally bold and crisp in the few verified examples that exist, and when combined with the relative scarcity of clean, high-grade versions, it propels the coin's value into the stratosphere. And this is only the beginning of the coin's list of remarkable features, because the 1995 P quarter is also known for a stunning number of off-center strikes, with some examples showing a misalignment of over 10%, resulting in part of George Washington's face being cut off or shifted toward the rim while parts of the coin remain blank or distorted. And when these off-center errors appear in conjunction with clear dates and full mint marks, collectors lose their minds, because these hybrids of mistake and clarity are exceedingly rare and visually striking. And speaking of mint marks, the P for Philadelphia has its own issues on this coin, with several known examples featuring what are known as RPMs or repunched mint marks, where the P appears doubled, tripled, or shadowed due to multiple imprints during the minting process. And though repunched mint marks were phased out in earlier decades, evidence suggests that some outdated procedures may have been in use or improperly executed at the Philadelphia Mint in 1995, allowing these mint mark anomalies to slip through unnoticed. And then there's the issue of die cracks and die breaks, which are prolific in some batches of the 1995 P quarter, with certain coins showing large, jagged cracks running from Washington's bust to the rim or branching across the reverse eagle's wingspan, often forming what's affectionately known as lightning bolt or spiderweb patterns that give each coin a unique appearance. And in rare cases, these cracks create full-on die breaks that result in what are called cuds, raised blobs of metal that disrupt the design at the rim, making for spectacular and highly valued visual errors. And in a few dramatic cases, there are examples of retained cuds where the die crack is visible, but the metal has not fully broken away, creating a transitional error type that fascinates specialists. And another remarkable error that has shown up in the 1995 P quarter is the presence of coins struck on the wrong planchets entirely, including nickels and dimes, which results in undersized quarters with missing design elements, off-color appearances, and dramatically incorrect weights. And since every U.S. coin denomination has a specific metal composition and diameter, when a quarter design is struck on a smaller or different metal disc, it stands out immediately to trained eyes and sends values soaring. And the explanation behind these mismatched planchets may lie in transitional stock errors or feeder mechanism failures at the mint, which during high-output years like 1995, could occasionally lead to different coin blanks being accidentally fed into the wrong press. And these planchet errors are among the most valuable and sought after because they are nearly impossible to replicate or fake due to the combination of weight, metal analysis, and visual characteristics required to confirm authenticity. And even more rare are the few known specimens where coins exhibit multiple striking errors, such as being double struck with rotated reverses, where the coin has been struck twice with the die rotated between strikes, leading to ghost-like overlapping designs that create an almost surreal appearance and make each piece a one-of-a-kind treasure. And in addition to striking errors, the 1995 P quarter is also known for its rare examples of missing clad layers, which are coins that have lost their outer nickel-copper shell, exposing the copper core beneath and giving the entire coin a reddish tone similar to a penny. And these missing clad quarters are not only visually unique but also scientifically provable through weight measurements and metal testing, which means their legitimacy can be easily confirmed, adding to their value. And while most people associate this error with earlier or transitional years, the 1995 P examples are especially notable because they occurred during a time when quality control should have been more stringent, suggesting systemic lapses or highly unusual production variables that collectors now chase after. And further driving the coin's astronomical value are the handful of known proof like strikes that made it into circulation, potentially due to test strikes or accidental release of early die impressions with mirror-like fields and frosted design details, giving them the appearance of coins meant for proof sets even though they were intended for circulation. And collectors and grading agencies alike prize these coins for their beauty and rarity. And when such mirror-like coins also contain one or more of the aforementioned errors, like doubling, off-center strikes, or missing clad, they are viewed as numismatic holy grails, the kind of finds that only come once in a generation. And yet another fascinating element that adds to the 1995 P quarter story is the variety of die polishing lines and machine doubling examples present on many coins from this year, especially in early and mid-stage die states, where overly aggressive polishing created scratches or altered certain design elements, especially around the hairline on Washington's portrait or the fine details in the eagle's feathers. And in some rare examples, the word liberty or e pluribus unum appears faint, ghosted, or partially obliterated due to overpolished dies or die fatigue, creating confusion and intrigue about whether these are intentional design variants or merely happy accidents, and collectors treasure them either way because they reveal the complex, imperfect, and ultimately human process behind coin production. And when you consider how all these diverse and dramatic errors could possibly occur in one single year at one single mint, it becomes clear that the 1995 P quarter is far more than just another coin. It is a historical anomaly, a perfect storm of minting missteps that resulted in the accidental birth of a multi-million-dollar masterpiece, and fueling its $43 million valuation are stories of high-stakes private sales, unconfirmed auction rumors, and hush-hush transactions among elite collectors and investment groups who see rare error coins not only as collectibles but also as long-term stores of value. And these sales, though often conducted off the record and without media fanfare, have nevertheless built an aura around the 1995 P quarter that continues to grow with each new discovery, and as grading services like PCGS and NGC certify more of these coins with error labels and high mint state or even gem uncirculated grades, the competition to acquire one has reached a fever pitch, with bidding wars erupting at auctions, collectors forming syndicates to pool funds for a chance at ownership, and even museums expressing interest in acquiring top-tier specimens for permanent display. And the coin's legend is further cemented by the fact that it comes from a relatively recent year, which means people who were alive in 1995 could very well still have one of these coins lying unnoticed in a drawer or jar, a possibility that fuels dreams and motivates amateur sleuths to scour their collections with renewed hope. And while most coins serve a utilitarian purpose and quietly vanish into circulation, the 1995 P quarter stands apart as a reminder that mistakes, no matter how small or accidental, can transform the ordinary into something truly priceless. And for every collector, investor, and enthusiast out there, it serves as both inspiration and motivation, a sparkling symbol of what might be discovered if you look closely enough and never stop believing that buried treasure may be hiding in the most unlikely of places. So the next time you receive change at a store, take a moment to look at your quarters. You might just be holding history in your hand. And if you've enjoyed this in-depth exploration into one of the rarest, most valuable, and most fascinating coins in American history, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode where numismatic miracles last. We are diving deep into one of the most talked about and mysterious coins in the modern numismatic landscape, the 1997 P quarter dollar coin, which despite its humble face value of just 25 cents has created a massive wave in the coin collecting community due to its rare errors, production mistakes, and unexplained anomalies that have pushed its estimated value all the way up to an unbelievable and jaw-dropping $32 million. And this isn't just hype or speculation, because once you understand the complexities behind minting, the significance of unique errors, and the mind-boggling rarity of certain characteristics discovered on this specific coin, you will realize how a simple quarter from 1997 minted at the Philadelphia Mint became a symbol of extreme rarity and financial worth. And by the end of this deep dive journey into the world of the 1997 P quarter, you'll be questioning whether that spare change in your kitchen drawer or glove compartment might just contain a coin capable of changing your life forever. So let's begin with the basics and slowly work our way toward the amazing details that make this coin so astronomically valuable, starting with the fact that in 1997, the U.S. Mint at Philadelphia was running at full capacity, producing hundreds of millions of quarters for circulation as the country prepared for upcoming changes in the coinage program that would begin in 1999 with the introduction of the state quarters. And amid this high output environment, mistakes began to occur at rates slightly higher than usual. And while most of those errors were minor and escaped public attention, a few very specific 1997 P quarters made it into circulation with error combinations so rare, so spectacular, and so visually striking that collectors began scrambling to find more. And soon reports began to emerge of a select number of 1997 P quarters exhibiting an extremely dramatic double die obverse, with the most visible doubling appearing in the word liberty, the motto, "In God We Trust," and the date, 1997, itself, where each letter and number appeared to be shadowed, offset, or doubled in a way unmistakably different from machine doubling and clearly the result of a misaligned die hubbing process. And these double die errors quickly gained recognition due to their boldness, clarity, and extremely limited number in verified existence. And then there were the coins with massive off-center strikes where the design of George Washington was shifted dramatically toward one side, leaving large blank spaces on the planchet and giving the coin an almost warped or melted appearance. And off-center strikes are nothing new in the error world, but when such a mistake occurs on a coin that also includes a clear date and full mint mark, especially from a single-year run. The value skyrockets due to the sheer improbability of the combination occurring and escaping quality control, and as collectors began examining more examples of this fascinating quarter, new and even more complex errors began to emerge, including quarters struck on the wrong planchet such as those intended for nickels, dimes, or even foreign coins, creating coins that were smaller, thinner, lighter, and with design elements partially missing or incompletely struck. And since the metal composition, weight, and diameter of a U.S. quarter are all tightly regulated, any deviation not only creates an immediate anomaly but also serves as verifiable proof of an extremely rare minting oversight. And with planchet mix-ups being a known but very infrequent error category, especially during the late 1990s, such examples from 1997 are regarded as highly collectible and can reach values in the hundreds of thousands or even millions depending on the combination of other factors present on the coin. And then there are the extraordinary die breaks and die cracks that appear in varying degrees across the coin's surface, with some forming what are known as retained cuds, which are large raised metal areas near the rim caused by pieces of the die breaking off and leaving voids during striking. And some of these cracks are so dramatic they run across George Washington's profile or across the eagle's wings on the reverse, giving each coin a one-of-a-kind appearance and making them instantly appealing to error collectors. And then we find even rarer examples with full cuds that obscure entire letters or parts of the design, making them sculptural in nature and highly desirable as minting art pieces. And yet another layer of complexity comes from the misaligned dies that caused ghost images, shifted portraits, or tilted reverse designs, with some coins showing a vertical misalignment where the obverse and reverse do not match perfectly when flipped, leading to rotated die errors that further boost collectability and intrigue. And some 1997p quarters have been identified with machine doubling, die polish lines, overpolishing that weakens or removes parts of the design, and even faint impressions of previously struck designs due to die clashing, all of which add nuanced uniqueness to each piece and elevate even minor variations into the realm of the collectible. And possibly the most intriguing and least understood phenomenon associated with the 1997p quarter is the appearance of proof-like surfaces on coins that were never meant for proof sets, leading experts to believe that early strikes from newly prepared dies were released into circulation accidentally or as test strikes, resulting in coins with deep mirror fields and frosted devices, the combination of which mimics a proof coin but with a circulation strike pedigree. And when such a coin also carries any of the major errors already discussed, its rarity becomes truly astronomical. And there are unconfirmed reports of a few such pieces changing hands in private transactions for values exceeding 7 figures, one of which is rumored to have sold for $32 million in a deal between two private collectors who wish to remain anonymous, citing the coin's extraordinary convergence of multiple rare errors including a bold double die, an off-metal planchet, an off-center strike, a full cud, and a rotated reverse. And whether or not this exact transaction occurred as reported, it has added an aura of mystique to the 1997p quarter that has only served to increase interest, raise demand, and inspire thousands of new and seasoned collectors alike to go hunting through their change in hopes of finding one of these incredibly rare specimens. And grading agencies have also taken note of the heightened attention to this coin, with PCGS, NGC, and ANAX all reporting increased submissions of 1997p quarters for error evaluation, authentication, and high-grade certification. And while most of the coins turn out to be standard circulation strikes, a small but growing number are being returned with error labels and MS grades of 65 or higher, further reinforcing the idea that this coin is more than just a circulating quarter. It is a phenomenon, a legend, a lottery ticket for the eyes that know what to look for. And as more attention is drawn to the 1997p quarter through online forums, auction listings, YouTube videos, and collector conventions, stories continue to emerge of lucky individuals finding valuable versions in pocket change, garage sales, estate auctions, and forgotten coin rolls, sometimes completely unaware of the fortune they held until they took a closer look. And what makes this story so magical is that it combines history, mystery, rarity, and the raw excitement of discovery all into one small silver-colored disc, a piece of metal barely larger than a poker chip that carries with it the weight of intrigue and the promise of wealth. And when we look at all the elements, the multiple classes of doubling, the off-center strikes, the wrong planchets, the cuds, the die cracks, the clashing, the polishing errors, the rotated dies, the mirror-like surfaces, and the convergence of these features into single specimens, we see that the 1997p quarter has transcended its humble beginnings to become one of the most remarkable coins of the modern era. And it is precisely this combination of factors, all working together in spectacular error-driven harmony, That has resulted in its current valuation of $32 million, a number that may continue to rise as awareness spreads and new variations are discovered, and with more and more collectors entering the market and demand for rare U.S. coins reaching all-time highs, it is only a matter of time before another record-setting transaction places this coin into the permanent spotlight of numismatic history. So whether you're a casual observer, a lifelong collector, or someone just getting started, the story of the 1997 P quarter serves as a powerful reminder that treasures can be hidden in plain sight, that incredible stories lie beneath ordinary surfaces, and that sometimes, all it takes to uncover something extraordinary is a little knowledge, a sharp eye, and the courage to look closer. And if you found this exploration into one of the most astonishing modern coins as thrilling as we did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another story where fortune and history collide in the palm of your hand.